50 Cent is back in the spotlight again, and this time, he's stirring things up with a wild claim that never made it into his Netflix documentary about Diddy. According to 50, the reason is simple. There was way too much material, and 4 episodes just couldn't hold it all. One of the claims left on the cutting room floor, he says, involves Diddy secretly having a child with a woman who had previously shared stories connected to Tupac Shakur.
I seen an interview about, he said that he had, a lot of footage had to be down, the documentary had to be downsized. You understand? I don't really believe that, because a documentary is a documentary. And they could have had 45 minutes, they could have had an hour, to each one of those. You understand? They left out certain things. He said they even left out the one about Sarah Chapman. You understand? And for whatever reason, he probably left out a lot of other different stars too. Situations that they could have spoke about. You understand? I have a problem with the documentary, and I'm just gonna let you know that the reason I have a problem with the documentary is that they know that they took my idea. You understand? They know that when I came to them, I laid out what they should do and how the documentary should be. You understand? She could say whatever she want to say. I talked to those producers before I even talked to her. They wanted to know what I had, what I was bringing, my pictures, all that stuff like that. And I told them about me, Tim, and Kirk. You understand what I'm saying? And how it would go. They did the same thing. This ain't the first time they stole from me, man. If you look at the Notorious Big, if you watch the Notorious Big, that part about the shoes, I had that in my book. And I was talking to K.O. Copeland. He was one of the writers of that movie. And I told him about when I let Big use my shoes at Soul Train Award. You had this old flunky ass dude, Mike B, get on Angie Martinez's show and talk about, yo, Big, he wore mixed max shoes and he went out there and performed. When you go look at the film, when you go look at Big performing that on that show, ain't nothing mixed match about them shoes. There was $800 Maury's, size 14D, Big World 14E. E means that his shoes is a little wider than mine. He struggled, but he put them motherfuckers on and he went out there and performed. Those was my Gators that he had on. You understand? They did a little skit trying to disrespect me in the movie, you understand? And they said something about, we got this from Big Sexy.
50 explained that his team cut the claim because of tight runtime limits, not because it lacked weight. He even hinted that instead of waiting around for another season, he might drop the unreleased footage straight on YouTube.
Documentary, and if 50 do another one, and I heard he's gonna put it on YouTube or do whatever he's gonna do, Puff ain't gonna have nothing to do with that. Puff ain't gonna have nothing to do to try to stop that, because he can't. Because if he could stop it, it would have been stopped. You know why he can't stop it? Because Puff know people right there at Netflix. Don't think he don't. And I don't know if this guy still worked for them, but he was part of the Flavor Unit, Shakim. He was part of the Flavor Unit. He was good friends, he was cool with Puff and them. Flavor Unit and them, Queen Latifah and them, they was cool with Puff. If Puff would have sent the cease and desist over there, and they could do it, and he had the power and they wasn't right, they would have been done it. You see it's still rolling, right? It's still going on, right? He ain't got that power no more. You understand? Now, could he sue them because they used his likeness or used something and stuff like that? I don't know. I'm not that versed in they using him. You understand? If they could steal your whole damn idea, your whole damn idea, why can't they steal your whole damn intellectual property?
Since the documentary aired, 50 says even more people have been sliding in with new information, all asking the same thing. What's really pushing him to go this hard at Diddy right now? And trust this, the real reason behind it all is about to catch people off guard. TK Kirkland recently stepped in and dropped his take on why 50 Cent came out swinging so hard with that Diddy documentary from day one. TK made it clear that a lot of fans are missing a key detail and reading this whole situation wrong.
You understand? So either he got her because he wanted some remnants of Tupac. We don't know. But it seemed like every dude that he had some kind of disdain, dislike, or that he idolized in a sense, he wanted their girl. Or he wanted to be a part of their girl. I don't know why. Yo, bro, this dude was, I don't know if he was in love or in hate for Tupac. He wanted to be an actor. He auditioned I think he auditioned for Juice. But Pac beat him out for that Bishop thing. You understand what I'm saying? He wanted to be a part of that. Just go, and not so many years ago, when Puff started getting into that drugs and started using drug stuff, he started revamping some of Tupac's speeches. And if you think I'm lying, go look at the Grammy speech he did. Go look at a couple of speeches he did. It was the same exact words Tupac had said. That he was gonna start this whole revolutionary of our people. That's Tupac. Black Lives Matter, the Black Liberation Movement, that was Pac. The Black Liberation Movement. Black Lives Matter? Come on, bro. This dude, everybody know that he had some kind of...
Some people keep saying 50 is just being petty or chasing attention, but TK says that idea doesn't even scratch the surface. According to TK, there's way more emotion tied to this than people want to admit. He explained that out of all the women in the world, Diddy allegedly chose to get involved with the mother of 50's child, and that changed the energy completely. From TK's point of view, that wasn't just messy, it was personal. And once that line was crossed, things were never going to stay quiet again. Now, even though 50 Cent's documentary has been pulling major attention and getting plenty of praise, not everyone is calling it a clean victory for him. Gene Deal has stepped forward with some heavy criticism, claiming that parts of the documentary weren't as original as people think, and that some of his ideas were used without proper credit. Gene made it clear he wasn't impressed and felt overlooked in a big way.
Do you think that Diddy killed Porter?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because of all the videotapes, because of the book, because of all the people she gave copies of her book to, or at least chapters, because of everything that she had on him, because of the tape that she used to blackmail him into a relationship and into a raise of him being sodomized by Andre Harrell. And I am not saying that allegedly, because I heard her and Kim Muir talking about it in the booth of the bathroom while snorting cane at the Kit.
He also spoke on the growing rumors that 50 might release even more unseen footage online in the future.
It was alleged that she did have a book and that her book was about to come out. And she was talking about all the perils, everything that she went through in the music business and with Diddy. All the men that they slept with together, because there were men that they slept with together. There were swinging times that they slept with together. I don't know, man. How do you put your girl through some shit like that? Or how you look at your girl and knowing that she's in another dude? What kind of demonic mind you have to be that far gone where that shit don't bother you? And got rid of them. They swimming with the fishes.
Wow, man. So she was about to expose all that in her book, them sleeping with men together.
She was gonna expose everything. I heard it was tell all.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Just curious, right? Did you know that Diddy and Kim had that type of relationship back then, in real time?
Yeah. Yep. Because I know somebody personally that lives in Atlanta that was swinging with them, and I would never mention his name because he's a good brother and he knows my family down there. You know, he knows my family down there, and I would never, put his name out there like that. He's been in the music business. He done put a lot of groups, A-listed groups out there, especially A-listed.
According to Gene, if that extra content ever drops, Diddy won't be able to shut it down at all. In his view, if the documentary truly crossed a legal line, it would have been stopped already. No delays, no second chances, and no quiet moves behind the scenes. He said that right there shows how much power Diddy still has, or maybe how much of it has slipped away behind the scenes. Gene made it sound like the silence speaks louder than any statement, and that alone says a lot.
The other day, they just did a whole thing with the girl that he was dating was the one that was putting the wiretaps and all of that out. It was a clear case. She came, hey, I was the one who was doing the wiretaping and all of this, right? The tapping. So I knew about this before she came out and said that she was the one that was doing it. I was sitting there like, damn, he know everything she doing. He know her conversation. I'm sitting there like when I'm sitting there right there next to him, when I'm hearing them saying, this is what Shakira Stewart was saying to Kim Porter on the phone that made him mad. That made him so mad at Shakira Stewart when he went to L.A. Reid party, hit him with the chair. You don't think if he hit a man with a chair for dating this girl, they gonna have a fight at home too. You know what I mean? That's why, they say he busts her nose up on the boat. And have you ever been to Sandro Pay's see a brother play a mandolay? Remember that was in his song? I need a good woman next to me. So didn't it happen in Sandro Pay? Like that island. And then he bust her nose. They tried to make it seem like she slipped and fell. She slipped and fell and broke her nose. Nah, the truth was she slipped and fell and landed on his fist. Yeah, but that's what happens when you put your hands on females. I don't really have much respect for a man who's physically abusive towards women, man. I kind of think they be kind of sus.
In his view, real power moves quietly, and this situation feels loud for a reason. Gene also dug into how Diddy allegedly had this strange obsession with Tupac, saying it shaped his decisions and mindset for years. According to Gene, that fixation wasn't random. It influenced nearly every major move he made. But here's where people started raising eyebrows.
Your thoughts on all his celebrity friends that denounced those allegations and were like, this is false, and
Liars.
They were saying, yeah, should they speak up now?
It's getting a little too late for those who are complicit. Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him. Or for Justin Bieber alone.
The documentary isn't fully transparent, especially when it comes to Kim Porter. She was Diddy's longtime partner and the mother of his children, and her sudden passing in 2018 at just 47 left many questions that barely got touched at all. The official cause was listed as pneumonia, but online chatter quickly spiraled, with some people throwing around serious accusations and speculation. To be clear, those claims were never proven, but they spread fast anyway.
Knows what he saw and what happened to him in his own mama house. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say, for her after-hour life.
Oh yeah. He was. I must say he was surprised to hear that.
school bus driver. No, was he surprised or was he like, zip it, you talking too much? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like you talking a little bit too much. They don't need to know about that. While she was sitting up there, oh, because I was a bus driver and I was this, and I worked at the after hours. And I would pour them drinks and they would give me big.
Kim had been around Diddy for years, right in the middle of his world, seeing his personal life, business moves, and what went down behind closed doors. That's exactly why many viewers noticed something felt off. The documentary barely touched her story at all. According to multiple sources, her chapter was intentionally avoided, possibly because it was seen as too sensitive or too controversial for the final cut. Gene says he knew Kim personally, checked in on her, and believed she carried a lot of untold knowledge that could have shifted the whole narrative fast.
His own words, in Diddy's own words, he had said he had a sigh of relief learning that he was the son of a hustler or a gangster. Like he wanted that status. He wanted to say that he was a sigh of relief is a wild thing to say, that your daddy was a gangster or a hustler, or that's what you heard that he was.
Well, I mean, like Tim said, they had a bunch of blaxploitation movies being played around the house all the time. They grew up with the Mac playing. They grew up with Superfly playing. Like, I mean, if that's what you got going on, you got two women in the house and there's no men around, and these are what the little boys are watching. You got basketball players coming over late at night. You got hustlers coming over, PIMPs coming over, women who look like they were modeling for Jet Magazine coming over. Like, it sounds like the nature of the environment is what shaped their perception of what cool was. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure for him it was, oh man, that's who my dad was. So I'm sure for him, it made him feel good because all of that stuff that he was watching, he really came from that, but that was really his legacy. And yeah, I'm sure for him it felt good to know that his dad was this big hustler who turned out to be a snitch, who got his brains.
But despite all that background, none of this information actually made it into the documentary at all. Viewers only saw a few photos of Kim, a brief mention that she was the mother of Diddy's children, and then the story quickly moved on. For someone who played such a major role in his personal and private life, that silence felt loud and raised serious questions for a lot of people watching. Mark Curry also stepped in and shared what he described as a deeply disturbing story involving Kim Porter and Diddy. According to Mark, Diddy allegedly had ways of keeping tabs on Kim's private conversations and would get heated when he heard things he didn't like.
He was trying to shape Misa into his mother. Can you see that? Like,
yeah, with the blonde hair and yeah, and all of that. I mean, somebody
really
asked a question: what kind of man puts his hands on his mother? The same kind of man that parties with his mom, the same kind of man who kisses his mom in the mouth, the same kind of man who seems to have accurate knowledge that his elderly mother can put both of her hands, her palms, on the floor and while she's standing up, bent over.
Oh damn, I ain't seen that one. Oh.
You never seen the Instagram video where he was talking about how his mom is still young and spry and how she still liked the party and how they was getting a IV drip?
Oh. Damn.
And she was kissing him in the mouth on the video when he was like, yeah, my mom can bend over and touch the floor with her palms.
No.
It's a very, very, very weird relationship.
Mark recalled a moment where Diddy reportedly became furious after learning about a phone call Kim had with producer Shaki Stewart. He claims Diddy later confronted Shaki at a party, and according to Mark, the situation turned physical when Diddy allegedly struck him with a chair. These are Mark's claims, but hearing them added a whole new layer to why some stories may have been left out. This is the kind of behavior people say defined Diddy for years, and that's why certain details feel extra questionable. Another thing that raised eyebrows was how the documentary handled Diddy's legendary parties. For decades, those events were known magnets for power players across every industry imaginable. Celebrities, athletes, executives, and major influencers were always rumored to be in the room. Yet the documentary barely showed any of that. No big names, no detailed moments, no real stories tied to those gatherings. That silence feels loud, especially since so many high-profile figures were publicly linked to Diddy for years and now seem completely quiet. People noticed that shift fast. Jaguar Wright also pushed the conversation in a different direction. She believes too many people focus only on the music business and ignore what Diddy may have been exposed to long before fame. In her view, the real origin story doesn't start with success. It starts at home, shaping the man long before the spotlight ever hit him. She went on to reveal what Diddy may have been exposed to as a child, while his mother was busy living her own life and having different people coming in and out of the house. Jaguar says there were often strangers around, and she believes that kind of unstable environment can leave a deep imprint on a young mind. In her words, situations like that can shape how someone sees trust, power, and control long before the industry ever enters the picture. Jaguar also pointed out how Diddy himself once spoke about feeling proud after learning his father had a reputation as a hustler. She says that reaction speaks volumes. In her view, that mindset lines up perfectly with how hip-hop culture later glorified similar figures, rewarding the same traits with status, respect, and applause. She also pointed out how rap names and public personas were often lifted from old movie characters that symbolized power, fear, and respect. Jaguar believes Diddy didn't just admire that image from a distance. He felt tied to it because it mirrored the environment he grew up around. In her view, that connection ran deep and shaped how he presented himself to the world. Jaguar then shifted to Diddy's relationship with his mother, calling it strange and deeply uncomfortable for what she described as an eerie reason. She didn't spell everything out, but made it clear that the dynamic raised serious red flags for her. And what really shook people is her claim that this cycle may have come full circle. Jaguar says multiple people have alleged that Diddy's children were around situations they should never have been exposed to. She questioned what kind of parenting allows that, why boundaries weren't protected, and why so many adults around them stayed quiet instead of stepping in.